What's up, guys? Scott from the Runners Flat. It's that time of year everyone's gonna start talking about layering and getting outside, or hibernating and not getting outside. We'll encourage you guys to get outside and acclimate to the cold, and everyone's gonna be different. What I wear in a certain temperature might be different than someone else, and so what we'll show you is basically just the process you go through. If it's fall and it's nice out and I'm not shirtless because it's starting to cool off, t-shirt. What we want to talk about the t-shirt is make sure that you're not putting your first layer as cotton. The big culprit with cotton is that it's just going to absorb moisture and stay wet. So it gets heavy, but it's also wet against you, and it's going to get cold as the temperatures drop. And so you just want to find something out there that's non-cotton, moisture wicking as your base layer. As it gets colder, if that's not a short sleeve and it's a long sleeve, a lot of those can be things that you get from races, like your race t-shirt. Those things are usually non-cotton and work fine, and they're inexpensive because you get it as part of your race, right? Yes, we have all this for sale at the Runners Flat, but we'll try to help you do it on a budget as well. Okay, so that's your base layer. If it starts to cool off and you're looking and trying to figure out where to go as it cools off, that's where we talk about a mid layer. And this could be something where it's a half zip, or it could be like a pole over here, whatever you want that to be. But again, non-cotton, moisture wicking, but a little more thickness here. This one will have some hand mittens that are built into the sleeve, and you could use that either on its own, or you could wear that short sleeve underneath it to layer up. But all it's going to do is now you have a couple layers on your core. It's a little thicker, and you're covering your arms as well. Then from there, as it gets colder, one underutilized thing here in the Midwest, I think, is the vest. And they make a vest that's got some loft to it. It's filled, and it's got some warmth there because of that. But then other parts are ventilated to keep you cool so you don't overheat. That's an insulated vest here, but they'll also have some vests that are just wind resistant or windproof, and they block the wind and they give you another layer on your core. What's nice about a vest is that when you guys use that, instead of having 2 or 3 layers on your arms and now it's getting heavy and clunky and you're overheating, it allows you to be ventilated and cool off a little bit on your arms, but still keep your core warm. Then all of a sudden what you're looking at is, hey, now we start to do a jacket. This is a windproof jacket from Smart Wool. This is a wool panel underneath. And what that does is it allows you to ventilate. And so instead of doing something, I brought this out to show you. This is a waterproof, like seam sealed, waterproof jacket, Pacific Northwest. And it rains all the time. Cool, you keep the rain off. But if you're not going to be out in the rain where you're trudging through a 2-hour run with just rain the whole time, you're going to overheat in this. It's not going to breathe. And so we would tell you to save that for the rain. Otherwise, get something that breaks the wind, that's water resistant here, but it's ventilated, and you would wear that as your next layer. But I do think you want to make sure that there's some sort of ventilation on it. Otherwise, it traps the heat and you just overheat in there. Block the wind a little bit, but keep it lightweight. Underneath that, you could do a short sleeve t-shirt, then a long sleeve, and then that. And I'll run that to like 0 degrees. Other people, maybe that's 20 degrees, or maybe you think it's crazy to do anything under 30. But you can definitely do it that way as much as you want. Then the last thing, if you're out there, it's brutally cold, then we go to what we call a hybrid jacket, which a lot of the companies are now making. This is insulated on the front, and so you have some loft in here. It's going to be windproof, water resistant on this layer, but it's also filled, so it's thermal here. It's going to really keep your core warm. You'll see that on the top of the arms. Underneath, again, ventilated here. And so what you get is something that it'll keep you warm, it'll block the wind, but you're not going to overheat because it's not all getting trapped. And then on the back, this is a women's, and so still ventilated here, aerated here, but also some coverage down low so it keeps the booty a little covered and a little warmer through the winter, right? So when you're doing all that, we really encourage you, we see people out in like winter coats. The deal with the winter coat is all this is going to be insulated. It's not going to be ventilated. You're going to be in that for about 10 minutes. You're going to work up a sweat. Then you're just going to overheat, get soaked, and then get cold because you're soaked, right? So again, on the core, non-cotton on your base layer, and then just layer up throughout the season. If you're brave enough to get out consistently, you'll acclimate and you'll start to feel better and better about what you're doing outside and how you feel when you're out there, because you're not freezing your tail off. tights and pants are going to be very, very similar. They're going to make a thin tight that is great for a day like today. They'll make a thinner tight that has wind panels on the front of it that blocks the wind for you. And then they're going to make tights that are even thicker. They maybe have some brushed fleece on the inside, and they have wind panels on the front. Those are going to be really, really warm. All of that, as you guys go, you'll see the price tags. Like if you wonder, just look at the price tag. Like a thinner tight is going to be less expensive. As it gets to be more thermal and have panels on there that block the wind, the price is going to go up. So be brave, get out and enjoy it. As you acclimate, you'll start to really enjoy being outside through different seasons. And we love to see that happening for people. Thanks.